Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is wonderful to return here at a time of great significance and a lot more hope for all of us than many of the other times that we've been here. We are now, I believe, very realistic in being able to see an end of the regime in Iran. We can see it. We've lived through this before in other oppressed countries when the people take to the streets and they protest day after day, like they've done in over 142 cities in Iran, like they did the other day in Tehran. When they do that, and no matter how much they're oppressed, no matter how much they're beaten, no matter how much they're arrested, or no matter how many of them are killed, they continue to grow and grow with numbers that now threaten to topple the regime. When that happens, then freedom is right around the corner. It could have happened 8 or 9 years ago with the uprising in 2009. The uprising that disgracefully my government turned its back on. Shame on that administration. However, this time, when it started back in December and January, just a few months ago, the President of the United States, about whom there's a lot of controversy whether he should tweet or not, took out his little phone and he tweeted and he supported the protesters. Like Ronald Reagan did for the protesters in Poland when Solidarity marched against communism. And what happened there? Communism fell, Poland is free, the Iron Curtain evaporated, and the Berlin Wall was chopped down. That will happen now. I say to those countries that continue to support Iran, to those countries that do business with Iran, you are paying for a regime that deprives women of their rights, that deprives children of their rights, and that murders people because they practice a different religion. How can you do that? How much better are you than the terrorists when you are giving them money and propping up this regime? Women's groups in particular all over the world should demand that those businesses that continue to do business with this regime should be boycotted, and we should stop doing business with them. We all know that the economy of Iran is in free fall. It's evaporating. That's terrible for the people of Iran, for your brothers and sisters and your relatives and friends. But I believe it's a price that they're more than willing to pay, like our martyrs were willing to pay with their blood. It's a price they're willing to pay because freedom from oppression always comes through economic want, through human want. That's what happened in the French Revolution. That's what happened in the Russian Revolution, the original one and the second one. And that's what's happening right now in your homeland. We saw a picture of a man that held up a sign and said he was willing to give his kidney. He was willing to sell his kidney for $500. That's a government on the verge of toppling. And what we need to do now is not to lose our determination. We've got to be more determined. This is the time to put on the real pressure. Thank God, my president, who I can now be proud of, my president turned his back on that very dangerous nuclear agreement with Iran. He said no. We're not going to do business with the biggest state sponsor of terrorism. We're going to reimpose the sanctions. Everybody said it wouldn't be enough. Gee, just America stops doing business with you when all of Europe is doing business with Iran, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Well, maybe when the greatest economic power in the history of the world stops doing business with you, you have the kind of economic collapse that you now see in Iran, and that is going to get worse, because I guarantee you the sanctions will become greater and greater and greater. This president does not intend to turn his back on freedom fighters. We've seen this happen in other countries many times. A very bad government is replaced by another bad government. Or maybe it's even worse.